everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and incredibly timely. We're going to explore what the Bible says about a nation we know today as Iran, and how ancient prophecies might be connecting with the headlines we're seeing right now. If you're interested in history, prophecy, and current events, you are definitely in the right place. So stick around because this is a discussion you won't want to miss. First, let's establish some historical context. When you read the Bible, you won't find the word Iran. Instead, you'll find references to Persia. This is the ancient name for the region and the empire that dominated that part of the world for centuries. The Persian Empire was a major world power, and its influence is woven throughout the Old Testament, particularly in books like Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther. Remember King Cyrus the Great? He was a Persian king who famously allowed the Jewish people to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. So, from the very beginning, the relationship between Persia and the people of the Bible has been significant and complex. Now, let's fast forward to the prophetic books. Several passages in the Bible speak of future events involving Persia. One of the most detailed and discussed prophecies is found in the book of Ezekiel, specifically chapters 38 and 39. This passage describes a great future conflict, often referred to as the Battle of Gog and Magog. It details a coalition of nations that will come together to attack Israel in the latter days. And guess who is listed as a key member of this coalition? Persia. That's right. Modern-day Iran is explicitly named as a partner in this future invasion. Ezekiel Sanjuhachi verse 5 names Persia Kush and Put as being part of this alliance. While there's some scholarly debate about the exact modern identities of Kush and Put, the identification of Persia with Iran is almost universally accepted. This prophecy paints a picture of Iran, not as a friend or a neutral party, but as an aggressor against Israel in a major end-times conflict. Now, when we look at the world stage today, what do we see? We see a political landscape where the government of Iran is often vocally and actively hostile towards Israel. The rhetoric, the funding of proxy groups, and the geopolitical maneuvering all seem to create a tension that mirrors the alignment described by Ezekiel thousands of years ago. It's truly remarkable to consider. A prophet, writing over 2,500 years ago, names a specific nation, Persia, as a key player in a future event. And today, we see that very nation, Iran, positioning itself in a way that seems to fit the prophetic description. This isn't some vague, cryptic prediction. It's a specific detail that is becoming more and more relevant with each passing year. As we watch the news, we see reports of Iran's nuclear program, its strategic alliances with other nations, and its role in regional conflicts. It's hard to ignore the parallels. The current political climate in the Middle East seems to be setting the stage for the very scenario Ezekiel described. Another important prophecy to consider is in the book of Daniel. Daniel chapter 8 describes a vision of a ram and a goat. The ram, which has two horns, is explicitly identified in the text as representing the kings of Media and Persia. This ram is powerful and conquers in every direction. Then, a male goat, identified as the kingdom of Greece, comes from the west and shatters the ram. This was a stunningly accurate prophecy of Alexander the Great's conquest of the Persian Empire, written hundreds of years before it happened. This demonstrates the Bible's track record for accuracy when it comes to predictions about Persia. If it was right about Persia's past, it lends weight to what it says about Persia's future. But the prophecies don't just stop with conflict. There's another, more hopeful thread running through the scriptures concerning Iran. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, there's a prophecy specifically against a region of ancient Persia called Elam. The prophet declares judgment and scattering for the people of Elam. But the prophecy ends with a promise. Jeremiah 49 verse 39 says, "But in the latter days I will restore the fortunes of Elam, declares the Lord." This is a message of hope and restoration. What's incredible is that Elam corresponds to a region in modern-day southwestern Iran. And what are we seeing in that region and throughout Iran today? One of the fastest-growing Christian movements in the world. Despite intense persecution, countless Iranians are turning to faith. House churches are multiplying at an astonishing rate. It's a spiritual awakening that is happening against all odds. Could this be a fulfillment of Jeremiah's promise of restoration in the latter days? Many believe so. It suggests that while the government of Iran may be set on a path of conflict, God has a different, redemptive plan for the Iranian people themselves. This duality is crucial to understand. The Bible seems to prophesy a role for the Iranian government in a future military conflict. Yet it also promises a spiritual restoration for the people of Iran. It's a powerful reminder that we should never confuse a nation's government with its people. While the headlines focus on political posturing and threats of war, a quieter, spiritual story of hope and transformation is unfolding within Iran's borders. So, how do we process all of this? We're living in a time where we can literally open our Bibles, read these ancient texts, and then turn on the news and see events that seem to align with them in uncanny ways. The geopolitical chess pieces in the Middle East are moving. The alliances Ezekiel described are not just plausible. In many ways, they are already forming. Iran's partnership with nations like Russia and Turkey, both of whom are also implicated in the Ezekiel 38 prophecy, is a matter of public record. Now, it is crucial to state that this is an analysis and an observation. We are connecting the dots based on what the scriptures say and what we see happening in the world. We are not setting dates or claiming to know the exact future with absolute certainty. Prophecy is often understood most clearly in hindsight. However, the purpose of prophecy isn't just to tell us the future. It has to show us that God is in control of history and to encourage us to be aware and spiritually prepared. When we see these prophecies seemingly coming to life, it shouldn't cause fear, but rather, it should build our faith. It shows us that the Bible is not just a collection of ancient stories, but a living, relevant book that speaks to our world today. It affirms that history is moving toward a conclusion that God has ordained. The gradual unfolding of these events involving Iran is a powerful sign that we should be paying attention. This isn't about fear-mongering or political speculation for its own sake. It's about being informed, discerning, and aware. The Bible encourages us to be watchful, to understand the times we live in. And the current situation with Iran is a major part of that. The prophecies provide a framework, a lens through which we can better understand the complex dynamics of the Middle East. They suggest that the events we have seen are not random, but part of a larger divine narrative that is marching toward its climax. What we are witnessing could very well be the preliminary stages, the setting of the board for the major events described by the prophets. The growing tension, the strategic alignments, and the internal spiritual revival within Iran are all pieces of this complex puzzle. It's a story of conflict and hope, of judgment and redemption, all centered on this ancient and powerful nation. We should continue to watch the news, not with anxiety, but with an informed perspective, keeping these biblical prophecies in mind. Pray for the people of Iran who are caught between a repressive regime and a powerful spiritual movement. And pray for peace in the region, while understanding that the Bible indicates that a major conflict is yet to come. This topic is deep, and there's so much more we could discuss. What are your thoughts on this? Do you see the connections between the prophecies and current events? What other aspects of this topic do you find interesting? I'd love to read your perspective, so please share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. Your insights add so much value to this community and this conversation. And if you found this video insightful and want to stay updated with factual analysis and news awareness that helps you understand the times we're reliving in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are committed to bringing you content that is well-researched, thought-provoking, and relevant. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.